You didn't come here by chance, nor did some random event lead you to wander into this place. There is a much deeper reason. You are reaching the end of an old chapter, a version that others once hoped you would be. They once placed their trust in an old image, someone who was easily swayed, anxious, exhausted inside, and always trying to please everyone. But that person is no longer here. Even if they try to call you by familiar names or use old tricks, it all now only echoes in the void. The one who once answered those calls is no longer you. There will come a moment in every conversation when they stop questioning you with "what happened?" and begin to quietly realize that you have always been right. And that moment is now. You're not trying to escape reality. You're walking straight into the truth with courage and clarity. The fog that once clouded your eyes is not a sign of weakness, but the final test. And now, you're seeing everything with the clearest eyes you've ever had. The first realization comes from those who once misunderstood you. Not because you've become tougher or are trying to impress anyone, but because your presence no longer aligns with things that are wrong. Just that silent disapproval is enough to create waves. Conversations that once drained you now seem trivial. Situations that once caused you anxiety no longer have an impact. Spaces that once drained your energy can no longer touch your inner strength. No, you're not colder. You're simply living in tune with your true frequency. Imagine a clear sound ringing out in the middle of a chaotic crowd. It doesn't scream. It doesn't force anyone to listen. But everything out of sync with it will immediately become apparent. That's you, the one who holds a pure frequency. What's out of harmony will either adjust to you or naturally drift away. You were once taught to overanalyze what your heart already knew. You tried to please, to be nice, instead of living authentically. You once accepted half-hearted connections simply out of fear of being alone. But you've grown tired of that. Now you're learning how to say yes with sincerity and no with conviction. And then you'll realize how quickly peace arrives when your outward words align with your inner understanding. The negative reactions you once received weren't imaginary. Some pretended to be friendly, some showed loyalty, but in the end, you've learned how to see through the masks. You're no longer the version of yourself that could be easily manipulated. You've been forged through pain, disappointment, and recovery. Just like how a sword is forged, heated, hammered, and cooled over and over until it can no longer be dulled. You used to call those your low days, but in truth, they were preparation, a way of clarifying who you are. You once chose silence just to keep the peace. But now you no longer settle for vagueness. You're no longer maintaining relationships just to avoid conflict. The steadiness you have now doesn't come from building walls, but from a deep understanding. You know who you are. And that change is beginning to show on the outside. You speak less, but your words carry more weight. Your decisions are more defined. Your life no longer spins in the same old cycles. The behavioral patterns that kept repeating have suddenly stopped. Not because someone else changed, but because you changed first. You'll notice this. The challenges are still there, but now everything has a sense of order. What used to send you into panic now feels like guidance. You can look at a situation and say, "I understand why that happened," and truly feel a sense of peace. That's not emotional numbness, it's spiritual growth. From here on, people will see you differently. Not because you intimidate them, but because you no longer allow yourself to be disrespected. Your presence makes them think twice before they act. They'll be more careful when they ask something of you, more thoughtful before playing with your emotions. Not out of fear, but because they now know you're no longer the person who used to say yes just to keep others happy. The transformation you're going through isn't pride or arrogance. It's a powerful internal realignment. You've become a person of value, not based on someone else's definition, but based on your own self-awareness. Reaching you now is no longer easy because it requires honesty, not just with you, but with themselves. Some people will rise to meet that change, surprising you with their own growth, but others will stall, slowly fading into the background. Let them go. Those who try to shrink the truth just to stay close to you were never really standing with you, only with the outdated version of you that you've outgrown. The changes within you aren't temporary. They are a deep commitment. You still have softness, but it's no longer something you spend freely on what doesn't deserve it. You'll continue to lead with kindness, but you won't let that kindness be a reason for others to mistreat you. You'll continue to bless others, but you won't fund habits that leave you feeling drained. This doesn't mean you've become rigid. It means you've begun to understand your own worth. Every decision you make now doesn't come from confusion or hesitation, but from the clarity of someone who has found themselves. Every step you take, every word you speak, carries a level of precision you never had before. Tonight is the moment when everything becomes clear. Your path hasn't changed, but you have. Now, you breathe easier, listen more clearly, and make wiser choices. That's what alignment feels like. That's what it means to truly move forward, not with noise or display, but with certainty from within. This won't be loud, but it will be unshakably solid. Remember this, your life will gradually speak for itself. You don't need to explain why your self-trust is justified, why integrity always matters, or why patience eventually pays off. You don't need to declare it, just keep walking your path. Those who can't understand this transformation will call it arrogance. Don't mind them, but those who truly see you will recognize the beauty of your growth. They'll understand that your strength doesn't come from display, but from inner stability. And in time, the ones who brought you here, those who witnessed your transformation, will call your name at the right moment. This is the beginning of a new era, a phase where you no longer need to prove anything. You've gained enough wisdom to choose, and that is the difference between you and others. The value you've discovered isn't a reward you had to earn. It's something you've been entrusted with. And managing it, maintaining it, that's the daily work you're now ready to take on. From this moment forward, you'll continue to feel the sensation of separation. But it won't be a painful split. It will be a graceful transition. The invitations that once tempted you now have no pull. The arguments you once felt obligated to join now seem too small to bother with. The roles you once played no longer fit and naturally fall away. This isn't loss, it's liberation. You haven't lost connection with the world around you. You've simply found your own path. A path that demands responsibility. And you're ready for it. Now, you can speak about your life without needing to win anyone over. You can set boundaries without feeling the need to apologize. You can keep promises to yourself even when no one's clapping. You act according to the truth even when the truth isn't always easy to accept. The steadiness you now hold has changed the outcome of everything. The opportunities that once felt unstable now feel more grounded. The projects that once stalled are now gaining momentum. All your preparation is aligning, like keys finally finding the locks they were meant for. Some people, the ones who kept testing whether your change was real, may keep pressing your old buttons just to see how you'll react. They're hoping you'll revert to who you used to be, but you don't respond. You no longer react in ways others can manipulate or exploit. You've become untouchable, not because you're avoiding anything, but because you no longer negotiate with what you've already outgrown. Picture yourself walking through a security gate. You've passed through it many times, and each time your presence says more than words ever could. The beep of the scanner is meaningless now, because your calm presence tells the story of deep transformation without needing explanation. The sound of jealousy may still hum faintly, like a small beep, but it's not loud enough to disrupt your peace. Forms of control, disguised as concern, no longer shake you. You don't chase those calls. Instead, you listen to what has been revealed, and you act from that awareness. It's your caution and wisdom that carried you through. Time is beginning to work in your favor. What once felt delayed has now become a gift. Opportunities you thought were lost are returning in new form. Places that once overlooked you are now calling you in. Doors that were once firmly shut are opening, as if they never rejected you at all. You're not wasting energy trying to repair the past, because you've been too busy building your future. And yes, your heart may still feel the sting of past pain from time to time, but even in those wounds, you find evidence of growth stronger than any act of revenge ever could be. One lesson you've learned is that unwavering peace is the sharpest answer. Your life now resembles a painting that is drawing itself, and it's delivering the clearest message. The favor and blessings you're receiving come from that clarity. You've come to understand that when you say yes to something, it must be a sincere and accurate yes. And from that, you feel the power of your energy flowing strongly. Each time you remain loyal to what you already have, it returns even greater value to you. Heaven does not reward what is false. True rewards always follow integrity. You've realized this gradually, but it's a deep understanding. That's why the wisdom you've gained continues to bring lasting value. You don't need to try to lead others. Your steadiness has become a shining example for them to learn from. You've chosen to reject chaos, and that choice alone inspires those around you to end the chaos in their own lives. This is how real movements begin, not with noise, but with a soul clean enough for others to recognize its honesty. You've also known sorrow, but it wasn't the kind of pain that broke you. It was the kind that helped you fill the empty spaces within. You've let go of old dreams, of aspirations that belonged to earlier versions of yourself. The old habits, the things that once made you feel safe, no longer have a place in the life you're living now. You've rewritten your story, no longer using outdated words to defend yourself before you truly knew who you were. You've honored what has passed, and now you move forward, gently but firmly. New power is finding its way to you because you've made space to receive it. You've started to notice the small things that glow when you pray. Creative ideas are flowing constantly, and your peace grows stronger with every no you speak. These are the signs you've been given, and you've followed them beautifully. Your path is not rushed. It's built through small, steady steps. There was someone who once spoke clearly about those who had mistreated him. He freed himself from judgmental thoughts and realized he couldn't be both the judge and the creator of his life. And now, life itself is proving everything that once went unseen. The truth about him is speaking louder than any story ever spun. This isn't his responsibility. It's the law he now lives and acts by. The truth is slowly being revealed. Your words were never meant just for self-protection. They were meant to build something, and that's exactly what you've done. You've shared what you're creating with the world, blessing your work even before it was recognized. You've blessed your home, your hands, your body, and your rest. You've blessed every step ahead of you. Your words have quietly, faithfully, and steadily shifted the outcome. You now stand before a door you once prayed for, a door you've been preparing for all along. Everything that has happened taught you how to seize opportunity, while everything ahead is waiting for what you carry. You've crossed that threshold, and only now are you realizing it. Now moving forward is no longer just an abstract concept. It's a firm, grounded step. You've acted on your intuition, listened closely, and responded wisely. You've sent out your message and fulfilled your mission. You've forgiven, applied your knowledge, begun anew, and released the old. You've planted new seeds. Every step you've taken has helped build your future, and everything you've done is now starting to come together. The previous pages are full, and now you're ready for a new chapter. This is the moment when you no longer hope to become the person you're meant to be, because you're already living as that person right now. And when tomorrow comes, it will meet someone grounded, whole, and self-aware. So gently close the door behind you, face forward, and keep walking. Everything is complete. Your landscape is fully formed, and nothing can take away what you've already achieved. If you're seeking more peace, I invite you to visit my second channel, a space filled with relaxing ambient sounds, perfect for quiet moments, peaceful reflection, or gentle focus. You can tap the playlist on the screen, and I'd be deeply grateful to have you join me there.